Hey guys, it's Red from Taco Logic. So I'm a little bit sick, so please excuse my voice if my voice sounds a little bit too low. Excuse me, please bear in mind that I'm a little bit sick, so my voice isn't up to par with what it usually do. So go on to this week's episode of ReZero, episode 23. First, I'd like to direct your attention to last week's episode, episode 22, where Beto got defeated and everybody was talking about and conversating about the gospel that he had, the little, which is called version of the Bible, I might say. So you have it where Beto got defeated. Subaru, he goes and he takes the book, and it's like everybody freaks out. Everybody's just like, Super, what you doing? It's like, we won't go near that book. We won't touch that book. Any insane person who is not part of the Witch's Call will not touch that book. So they was making the connection that this book that makes you a member of the Witch's Call if you either try to touch it, try to read it. And what Subaru does, he touches the book, of course. He opens it up and he reads it, or he tries to read it. He couldn't read it because it was like different words, or that he couldn't understand. You know, he's from a different world, so he couldn't understand the language, or maybe he had a different language than the traditional language that he was taught by Amelia and Rim and Ram or something like that, right? So they made this connection that those who read this gospel become like an automatic member of the witch's cult, right? In the last episode, we see that there are like many different fingers of the witch's cult, including Beto. And all these fingers are like representations of like pride, greed, gluttony, sloth, stuff like that, right? You have it where these people looks like they are being taken over by Beto himself. So you have it where you have the different fingers of the witch's cult. They're acting just like Beto, acting all crazy, using the same words that he is, and it's just like, you know, the different like neck span and the crazy and like ha ha ha, right? That was a little weird, but right. And you have it where in this episode 23, Subaru. By the end of it, if you didn't watch it, please, I'm going to spoil some stuff, so please watch it before you watch this review. At the end of episode 23, after they defeat all the fingers. Everybody defeat the fingers, right? They go. Subaru, he sees Amelia. Amelia kills his last finger with the help of the fucking cat, the spirit cat, I forget the name. And you go. And he runs into the forest. And he gets chased after Julius and Phyllis. And they're like, Subaru, what is wrong? What's happening? Are you okay? And just like, oh, I was afraid that this might happen. So in actuality, what goes on is that Subaru, he then becomes the vessel for Beto. Beto's subconscious, his mind control, happens over Subaru. So he basically takes over Subaru's body, and Subaru is thus becoming a new, like, he's becoming Beto's body, making Beto like reincarnate into his body per se. And the reason this happens is you think, why Subaru? Why is Subaru being a vessel for Beto's subconscious? Why is this happening? And like I said in the beginning of this video, it happens from events of the last episode. And this is my thoughts. I might be completely wrong. I might be right. I don't know. But it happened where since Subaru touched that gospel, and nobody else inside the vicinity wanted to touch that gospel, but Subaru was dumb and brave enough to touch that gospel, he became like an automatic member of the witch's cult, right? He became a finger. And we already know that inside this episode, like episodes way before this, that Subaru like had like a connection to the witch's cult from like the very beginning. He like, it was like, oh my gosh, your love of the witch is like so strong, like almost as strong. It's like it's stronger than mine. I'm jealous of you. Beto have said this before. Like, Subaru, your love for the witch is strong. It's stronger than mine. I am jealous of you. Why does the witch love you so much? So we already know that Subaru has this relation to the witch's cult, and that he can be like a member of the witch's cult. And he have this, like, we already know that he probably can have this authority power, like the authority of pride. It has been stated, like, he might be the authority of pride. So because Subaru touched that book or that gospel, and he already had this connection and this relation to the witch's cult, Beto was able to basically transfer his subconscious to Subaru, just like he possibly maybe had transferred his subconscious to all the other fingers, because they all had the authority that Beto had, the authority of sloth. It had the unseen hands, and you know, Subaru can see these unseen hands. So it makes me think that Subaru not only can be this authority of pride, but he can also be this authority of sloth. say if Beto like does happen to die forever, even though he fucking seems immortal right now, if he dies like completely, then Subaru might have authority of Sloth because he can see the unseen hands like nobody else can see these unseen hands. Even though you have Wildhound who can dodge the shit off these hands, I don't know how he's doing that. He can't see them, but I guess he can feel it though. I don't know. So I just wanted to get that out of the way as the first part of this review for episode 23 and part of episode 22 of Re:Zero, why Subaru was able to be overtaken it by the vessel. So going off of that, I'm going on a little bit of order of the events of this episode. Going off of that, Subaru has requested that Julius kills him, right? And Julius, during this whole thing, we know that Julius and Subaru did not have the best relationship. They was like bittersweet, and when they had to form this contract, kind of like this friendship, in order to take down the White Whale. I'm sorry, Julius and Ampere to take the White Whale, to take down the witch is called. It was like Subaru and Julius, they tried their best to become friends, right? They started talking more, they started conversating, they started like understanding each other, even though Subaru hate the shit out of Julius. He was like, last episode he stated, he was like, I can accept that you're good, but I can't accept that I can't like you all the way yet. I just can't. He said, I can accept you. I understand that you're a good cause, but I'm still angry towards you. I can't accept who you are because I have that little feeling. In this episode, you have it where Subaru, he tries to tell Julius some stuff, and then my interpretation is that he was trying to tell Julius that they are friends now. They're good. They're on good terms. They are friends. They had nothing to worry about. But before he did that, Beto overtakes his body, and Julius, when Subaru requests that Julius kills him, Julius was like, why Subaru? Mind you, nobody knows that Subaru has returned by death. So Julius is like, why? He's like, you wanted to tell me something, right? And Julius probably knows that Subaru wanted to say, okay, they're friends now. So Julius and Subaru, they became on good terms. They are friends now. Even though Subaru hasn't explicitly said it before he was like, about to get killed, he said it. They're on good terms. So Julius hesitated. And then before, Julius, as honor as a knight, Julius might have not hesitated to kill Subaru. But now he is hesitating to kill Subaru because he was like, Subaru, okay, of course we're going to be friends now, right? We are going to be friends. So Fellas does it instead. And when Fellas did it, he starts crying. And Fellas like, I had no other choice. I had to. It was Subaru's request. He asked me to do it. So Subaru did this because he didn't want Beto to like become a new Sloth. But he like Beto know he's gonna overtake his body. So Subaru was like a constant struggle between Beto and Subaru inside his body, and that makes me think that Subaru is strong enough to go against Beto and his subconscious in order to like have a little struggle subconscious to overtake his body back from Beto. So Fellas, he's like did some, I don't know, he's a healer, but he did some magic, like he didn't knock Subaru out or knock Beto and Subaru's body out. He just is like, he basically tried to like stunned him or paralyzed him or something. He did something, even though he's a healer, which I found really strange. Maybe he has different magic affinity. So Julius takes it upon himself to finish it off. You know, he didn't want to at first, and he takes his sword and slashes Subaru's neck, or takes his head off. I presume they didn't show that part. So I'm going to talk about next is that the new checkpoint for Subaru. We know Subaru will return by death. He hasn't died inside episodes in a while, actually. He hasn't died in, like, I don't know, like the last 3 episodes or so. He hasn't died in a while. Ever since like they went to go attack the well, ever since he had the conversation with Crush and was like being formulated, he was being decisive, he was being a good leader, his character development changed throughout this whole thing. He hasn't died since then. And this is the first time he died in a long time. So I want to know, when is going to be his new checkpoint? I'm pretty sure his checkpoint is not going to be before the White Whale. If it's before the White Whale, like, or it's before Crush, before like he talks to Crush and makes Trust form this army, that's going to be troublesome or so. But if he does checkpoint before that, then he knows that the White Whale can split up. He knows what's going to happen. He'd be better prepared to take this army into the White Whale and possibly save a bunch more lives from this White Whale attack, right? But hopelessly, it's like, I feel like that progress would be lost. Like, too much progress would be lost. His character development would be lost. His growth as a character, him being a leader, him being smart, him talking to Crush, everything will be lost if he respawns before this white whale attack. So maybe he may start after the white whale attack, but then again, he have another opportunity if he respond to save the villagers. As we know, that when they came to save the villagers, so let me get a little bit off topic there, or a little bit out of the sequence or the timeline of this episode. So, last episode we had a big ass cliffhanger with Ram. Ram came, we like she was going to attack. I made the false accusation or the false assumption, prediction that she was controlled by Beto, but she wasn't. It was just a theory, just a hint, maybe not. So in this episode it's confirmed that she wasn't. And she actually attacked Subaru and his little army of gang who went to go take down the witch's cult because she thought Subaru had declared war and became a traitor to the Roswell mansion and Amelia herself, right? He thought because Subaru, inside his action to explain things to Roswell, to Amelia, to Ram, he sent a blank letter. He sent a letter to the mansion explaining that they were going to go to the villagers, take over the villagers, they're going to take the villagers to safety, and they're going to try to protect the mansion. But Subaru made a mistake, or whoever sent the letter to the mansion made a mistake and sent a blank letter instead. And this, apparently blank letters inside this universe or this world gives the false impression that it's war. Like if you send a blank letter, you don't have no words regarding to the person. Like it's like just like a done deal. Like I'm done. I had nothing else to say to you. It's fucking war. So Ram took upon herself to think that it was war, and she was about to come and she was about to take Subaru. She took Subaru. She didn't kill him. So I don't know if she's going to kill him immediately. She didn't kill nobody else, but you know, Whamhelm and everybody else stopped her because apparently Ram is not the strongest of these people. I know Ram is fucking strong, but she's not strong enough to take down like Whamhelm because Whamhelm is fucking awesome. So after that, we have it where Ram, she goes. So it wasn't Ram who took down this. They see it was the traitor, and have it where the villagers. So Fellas was like he went, he checked out one of the merchants that was with the little group that they was in, and found out that this person was a part of the witch's cult, and because of that, she was like, okay, she was part of the witch's cult. He infiltrated our ranks, disguised as a merchant. I'm gonna kill him, but it was too late at this point. Like the merchants, everybody familiar with witch's cult invaded the merchants and everybody else, and they basically killed a whole bunch of the villagers. So maybe when Subaru, if he turned by death, he knows this, he has his knowledge. Remember, he doesn't lose knowledge. He doesn't lose any knowledge when he returned by death. He knows this, and he probably can prevent it. He probably can prevent everybody's death from the village when he returned by death. Hopefully, he may get to the point where he goes before the village and returns by death. And he saves the village. He saves himself. I don't know, he might save himself from being overtaken by Beto. Beto might do it again. I have no idea. Well, it might be. Also, something worthy of note is that Julius is a spirits arts user. So we know that spirits art users aren't common. They are very rare. And that the only spirit art user that we know so far was Amelia. Amelia was like the only spirit art we saw so far, but it showed that Julius is also a spirit arts user, and so it's like he's one of the rare people that is able to use spirits, magic, and not magic, but use spirits as art. And he placed his spirit on Subaru and the same Subaru life. And I think there was a mention of this in last week's episode, that there was like this little red spirit that was like protecting Subaru and Subaru's life. So already we see that this dynamic and this relationship between Subaru and Julius, that Julius, before like they were even friends or before they had this connection, they start having a character development together, that Julius was out there protecting, he's put his spirit to protect Subaru. It was protecting Subaru right off the bat. And when Amelia comes and she fucking goes to take down these fingers, it was fucking awesome. It was awesome. Like she was just, she was ice everywhere. She was just she was hopping from like pole to ice pillar to ice tree. She's like in the middle of a flight, she made this little ice tree and she landed on it. I thought that was fucking dope. That was awesome. She made this and she took down the finger and she killed it. And but in this episode, when she noticed that Subaru died, she looked back into the forest. I don't know why characters tend to do that. Like they have this feeling that they're like, oh shit, did somebody just die or something major just happened? And so I want to know. I have a question. Like, what does extend to Beto's power? Like, is he immortal? Do he have the power that's similar to like Subaru, where he doesn't just die? When he die, he just like reincarnates and come back to a different body, or is it just like Beto that we saw, the original Beto that we saw? Is that just a different body? That's not his original body, the body that he was born with. That is a different body, and is Beto actually like? Did he live a long time, like for thousands of years with the witch? Sorry. Did he live a long time, a thousand years with the witch, and that it's just like his subconscious is just there now? Like I've seen this in anime a lot, where a character, they was like they able to like switch bodies. I forgot what anime this was, but animes this were, but they was able to switch bodies, and over time they lost their original body, and they have no longer know what their original body is. I have seen this many times. So that's the case with Beto, where he lost his original body and he's just going around taking everybody else's body. Once his other body gets destroyed or dies, something like that, what is the extent to his powers? I'm deeply interested in this. And where was Subaru? Where would he respond? I don't know where he will respond at. What is the extent to his powers? Basically all the questions I have for this week's episode of ReZero. I know we have a few more episodes left. I still haven't finished the volume of ReZero, volume 1. I'm trying to get volume 2. I have been looking for it in bookstores, Barnes & Noble. I should just order it online. That's what the smart thing to do. So I'm gonna just do that when I have the chance. So guys, hope you enjoyed my ReZero episode 23 anime review. Sorry that I'm sick. Sorry that my voice is up to par. And I'm sorry that I don't know if this light makes it. No, that makes it darker. That makes it very much darker. Sorry, it's light. Cause I know it's like you probably can't see the other way. Like my glasses are reflecting by the light a lot. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry. But guys, it has been Veer from Taco Logic. Wish me well. Wish me. Oh, I feel better and everything. But this episode of ReZero was great. See you next time, guys. I don't know when. Almost at 400 subscribers. That is good. Thank you.